Hello my crafty friends, and welcome to another video by yours truly. Thank you again for dropping by, and thank you for the time you've taken to watch this video of mine. And if you like it, please hit that notification button and hit that subscribe button. And also, if you could copy the link onto other social media platforms that you belong to on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all the rest of them. If you could copy and paste for me, that would be absolutely marvelous. Thank you so much for joining me. And what have I got for you this afternoon? Well, this. And you're probably thinking, well, he did that last time. Well, yes, I did. But this time, as you can see from up there, I'm using an alternative set of ink pads, and I'm also going to take it to another level and show you how to color using your ink pads. So without further ado, let's kick it off and show you what we are about. And I'm just going to take a little moment to show you something which I've only just come across, and I think it's well worth pointing out. Now, I don't I've had these for an awful long time. In fact, I bought these blending pads when I got the mini distress ink pads, and I've always kept them under the ink pad and kept one for each color. Now these are the Spectrum Noir pads, and if I take that off, look at the difference. That is much thicker than that one. So I just thought I'd point that out. And so yes, it's quite a difference, and I am teetering on towards actually liking the Spectrum Noir ones, because they have got that extra bit of body to them, as it were. Now then, so what I'm going to do is quickly go through with you the inks that I'm going to use. Now, if you remember the last one, we used antique linen. This time we're going to use the Spectrum Noir. These are all the Harmony ones. So these are like your equivalent to distress ink pads in the Spectrum Noir Harmony range, if that makes sense. So these are blendable. So as in the word harmony, so they harmonize with one another. So we have got Sandstorm, so that would be the equivalent that I'm replacing with antique linen. So I'm replacing antique linen with Sandstorm. So that's the first one, that'd be our lightest. Vintage Photo I'm replacing with Fire Brown. So that would be like our mid color. So yes, so Vintage Photo I'm replacing with Fire Brown. So, and then Walnut Stain, which would have been our darkest color in the distress, I am replacing with Seal Brown. So just to reiterate, instead of Walnut Stain, we are using Seal Brown. And then obviously for the Black Soot, we are using straightforward Jet Black. So that is our four colors. As you can see, there is my white piece of card, and I have got me a piece of tissue. The other thing we're going to be needing is a archival ink pad, a waterproof archival ink pad. I don't know what the equivalent color would be in the Spectrum Noir range. There is a waterproof range of ink pads, but I wouldn't know what the equivalent color is, so I'm using the archival ink sepia. And the stamps we're going to be using is a set from Sheens Douglas, and it's these. And obviously I'm going to use the old-fashioned gramophone, so Downton Abbey that is. And So I got the whole set. You've got a set of luggage, so you can have use this as a moving home or bon voyage if somebody's going on a journey. That's the tree stamps, and you've got a vintage old building by the lake with hills inside, grasses. Now, this is quite an interesting one. Retirement, new job, and it's a desk and a chair, old grandfather clock. So again, versatile set of stamp set to have. Old tea tray with cup, saucers, tray, a little cake on the side. So again, that's quite a nice stamp. And a vintage telephone, probably not a lot of you would recognize. You need to be over a certain age, shall we say, to recognize one of these dial phones. So yes, so that's quite a nice little stamp set. So yes, so that's what we'll be using. I will be using the old gramophone. Now, what I'm going to do as well is, this is the card that I did, and I'm also going to be using it as a watercolor. So so you can see I've highlighted certain aspects of this and using the same colored ink pads, which I'll be doing and showing you. So we will be doing, but I'm not going to do the whole card because it will take ages. And once you get the hang of what I'm doing, you can go away and do it and spend an inordinate amount of time to get the results that you want. So yeah, so basically I will do a little bit of showing you how to use these ink pads as a watercolor, and then you can go off and do the rest. Now, the other thing I will point out is on this card, you notice I have matte and laid it onto an embossed piece of card, and that's the embossed piece of card, which I will distress and I will go over that. And this came from a very old Crafter's Companion set many moons ago, even before I think this even came out before the Sarah Signature collection started. So that shows you how old this collection is. So Crafter's Companion, and it's the Textures Artist collection, and it's the leaf vein, and there was a set of stamps with it as well, which kind of like the grungy ink splatters, ink pads, ink wells, and all the rest of it. So yes, so, and it's one set over the years that I sometimes go back to again and again, and some of the embossing photos, again, like this one, I do go back and use because it is so versatile and it's timeless. So that's how I've got that. So okay, let's now transform our piece of card. So as we did before, so obviously I'm using Sandstorm as my first color. Piece of kitchen towel, protect your hands, and we go off. I'll start on the non-stick mat and then bring it onto the card stock, moving circular motions all the time. So off the card, onto the card, moving all the time, and that's how you don't get any streaks or blotches. Says I probably get them now, but and all I'm using here, the card, is the Crafter's Companion multi-purpose cardstock. Nothing fancy, just plain straightforward multi-purpose cardstock, and that's all I'm using. And the aim is here is to leave the center bit quite white, so I want that still left white. So bearing in mind we're going to be using 2 more colors on top of this, so we need this to come in quite a ways. So again, just go around until you're perfectly happy. So yeah, just keep going around and until it's a nice uniform color. Now I'm quite happy with that. So we've got a nice layer of sandstorm down, and if I just bring in a piece of white card, you can see the difference already. So we can put our sandstorm away, and we can now bring in our fire brown, which is our next color. So we could move that out of the way. So, and again, because this is darker, go gently. So off the card and onto, moving all the time, nice circular motion. And again, and I still want a bit of the sandstorm to be seen, so I'm not going to go quite so far in. So a little bit around the corners, then along the edge. So cool. I'm liking that already. A bit around the edge and along the top. Cool. Right, there we go. So that is our second color put down. So we're now going with our third color, which is the seal brown. And again, gently does it off the card and onto. And the more times you do this, the easier it will get for you. As I say, these are the three closest colours I found to the original Distress ink colours that I used. So, and it's still, to me, it's not too dissimilar to the achievement that I got with the Distress inks. So this is why I thought it'd be worth just showing you that even with the Harmony ink pads, you will still get the same result as what I did with the Distress ink pads. And I'm just beginning to like this already. I just love this vintage look. And also for you people out there who struggle for mail cards, this is just an absolute ideal color combination for mail themed cards. You know, so you know, and with some of those stamps, it would just be an ideal birthday card for male members that you struggle to send cards for. And again, if you've got an old vintage ship or sailing ship or something, then hey, you know, this would be ideal. So hey, look, we have transformed our piece of card to a very vintage, archaic, old piece of card. So the next thing is to splatter some water. So again, this is a Spectrum Noir mini mister, but I'm unscrewing it and I'm just going to flick water over what I've just done. And this is going to be so random. And I'm just going to leave that to soak for a few seconds, let the water react. As you can see, it's already reacting rather nicely. If I just lift that up, you can see it's reacting rather nicely to the ink. And that's exactly what we are after. So I'm just going to pat that dry give that a bit of a wipe, and we have got, ta-da, there you go, an old piece of card which you have done yourself. So we can put our mat away, we don't need this. I'll give that a bit of a wipe because there might be residue of some ink on there, so that can go away. We have now got our piece of card, and what we need to do now is stamp our image. So get our image, get our stamp, and I'm actually going to place this on a stamping platform, and then retrieve the ink pad that we require. Don't matter that it's sticky, it's absolutely fine. And then, cool, let's get our stamping platform. Here we go. Bring it over and make sure it is on the clear. See that? Clear, because we're using a clear ink pad. Make sure it's on the clear. Lift that up. Down that goes. And we can lift one of those on there, and then you can just take your time, place your stamp, your image where you want it to be. Now I'm obviously going to focus, I want the main image on the lighter bit of the areas that I've done. Bring your and then we just get our ink pad and just lightly stamp and ink our image. As we've done before, light, gentle tapping is the key here. Doesn't matter how many times you do it, just light, gentle tapping all over your image, and then lid back on the ink pad, and then we bring that over and down it goes, and we just leave that for a few seconds for the ink to make contact with our cardstock, and just gently just press that down a little bit, and hopefully we have got a nice crisp clean image. No. Just a little bit more in the middle there. There we go. So if it hasn't stamped, just go back down and just press on the area where it hasn't. Now what I'm going to do, I think, should I or shouldn't I? Yes, I am. I am going to darken that a little bit. So I'm going to go in again with my ink pad, because I think I would prefer that just a bit darker, I think, because if we're going to watercolor it, then yes. So bring it back over, and then down it goes. Wait for it to contact, press all over. Yes, that's better. Pleased with that, happy with that. And then put that to one side, and as you all are aware, we can, and this is the Crafter's Companion stamp cleaning solution in a spray bottle. So as you all are aware by now with me, is clean your stamps, keep them tidy, keep them clean, and you know, you then are sure that next time your stamp is clean and free to go. And I'll just show you something. Let me just dry this off. That is perfectly dry now. So let me just show you something. Let me just put that there. Just put that up there. spotless. See? I thought I'd just show you that. That's why I clean my stamps, because I know that it's now clean, and even though it's stained, which is perfectly normal, it's perfectly fine, don't worry about it. It's you're not going to affect any other stamps. As I say, the only potential danger is if you don't clean it and you go to use a Versamark, you'll stain your Versamark, which is obviously what it's happened to me, and that's why I clean my stamps. So now I've lost my carrier sheet. I don't know where that's gone. Probably me gassing and talking and all the rest of it, and I've put it somewhere, but hey ho, I'll find that. That will turn up. So okay, so what we need to do now is, once we've done this, put this away, is to do a little bit of watercolouring. And I'm not going to go mad with this, because I'm going to show you one or two areas. We can put that away, because otherwise it will just take ages, and I'm sure you've got better things to do than watching paint dry. Now I've got some little waterproof sheets here, and bring our piece of work in, and I'm just going to splodge a bit of ink down on to our, because this will be my little palette, and just squidge a little bit of ink onto the and then I'm just going to get my mister and just, now I'm just going to do a little bit, because everybody's got different colouring techniques, different ways of doing things, and yeah, so I'm not going to spend an awful lot of time doing this. But so with my water pen, let me just bring this over a bit. So with my water pen, and I'm just going to, and a bit of tissue, just, and I haven't squeezed this, and I'm just going to take a little bit off, and I'm just going to gently go through the and just do this table. And just drag this colour, and then once it's dry you can go over it again and make it darker. So in between the glasses, around the table. But as I say, I am not going to spend too much time with this, because it will take too long, and as I say, I'm sure you've got better things to do than watching me. Now obviously the one I'm using at the moment, this one here, is the seal brown, which is the darkest, and but what we do want, we've got the edge of the table here, so we want that to be quite prominent, so let's pick up as much colour as we can with this. And that's basically all you do. And if you want darker areas, just go over again, and you know, just because where Sheens has designed the stamp, you've got a lot of shading here, so it's like that's where kind of the shadow would be, so make that a little bit darker. Right, so that's that, and then just squeeze your pen a little bit, and I'm going to go in with a sandstorm now. This is obviously the lightest colour, and I'm just going to do the inside of the horn, just like so, and again, I'm not gonna go mad here and show you and I'm right, so here on these long bits I'm only going to go down a certain amount, bring that up, right, I'm gonna call that on that, and then I'm going to go, this is our next color, which is the fire brown, which is this slightly darker one. So I'm just going to bring that down a little bit and bring this and then, so just as I say, it's on something like this, it's better to on the side of caution. Remember, you can always do it lighter to start with, because you can always keep adding to it until you've got your desired effect. So I'm just going to twist this around a bit, and I'm just going to, I'm just going in with my darkest just under, and because these are fine, you can go in and and you've got the, so I'm gonna call this a day in a minute on this, and I'm going to show you the completed one I did earlier, and then that would be it. So so there we go. You can see the beginnings of, and again, because of the way I'm doing it, it's giving almost dimension to that horn. So so that's basically, and I just carried on with the whole of the leaves, the gramophone, the box, drinks. Drinks I just coloured in the sandstone, just to give it a bit of colour, to emphasise the fact there is a drink in there. So and the leaves I did. So if I bring my, let me just clean this before I forget. So, and I will use that later. And if you go away, just spray with a bit of water, and it will react, and you can carry on using them. So so don't waste it. So let me just put that to one side, and if I bring my original back in, which is here, so you can see the overall finished effect of where we're heading with this. So again, I've just highlighted with the medium, the fire brown, the box, the gramophone, the leaves I did with sandstorm, and then a bit of the fire brown. So yeah, so just take your time is all I'm saying. Take your time, enjoy it. It's quite a relaxing, therapeutic thing to do. So yeah, it's quite good. So the last thing we need to do on this is to get our distressing tool and just really distress this, and this is where we will be using our jet black. So yeah, really go to town on this, because we want, and if you want to crease it a little bit in the corners, yeah, then do that. You know, so you know, really you can really kind of go to town and grunge this up if you want. Yeah. So yeah, so it just adds a bit more character to your piece of work. So cool. So right, I will just get rid of that. Right, so what we need to do now is get our jet black, get rid of that one, and that, and then that, and just gently, where you've got the white showing on the edge, just over it goes, like that, and like that, down like that. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go in with Fire Brown, and I'm going to think that would have been that one. Yeah, so I think I might have just to emphasize the creases that I've created. There you go. So there was enough ink on there just to emphasize those creases. Do a bit down in this corner. Might as well go to town and do all four. Just really screw it up and twist it and do all sorts of nasty bits to it. There we go. And then they just go lightly across like that. Cool. And there. So so that's where we're heading. So I mean, so all you need to do now with that is just carry on painting. And my suggestion also would be to completely leave that to dry overnight, and then you can mat and layer it, put that to one side, onto your card blank. Now just to if you've got a different embossing folder that you prefer to use, then obviously that's absolutely brilliant. Let me just get this, and you just need to go over this very lightly. You don't need, so you're just stroking and tickling the surface of the card. You just want to hit the embossing. So so yeah, I just want to bring out the veins and the leaves. There we go. And just going to trim that down a little bit, I think, because if my memory serves me, I didn't do that. So let's get my card blank. No, didn't think I did. So I'm just going to trim this, I think a 1/4 of an inch. Let me just check that for you. So that's half, yep, 1/4 of an inch. So trim that down, and again on the long side. So there we go, 1/4 of an inch that side. Get rid of that, and then that will just matte layer onto your card front, and then you will have your completed card. So double-sided tape around all 4 sides, and thank you very much for watching. And if you please subscribe and hit that notification button and hit the subscribe button, that would be awesome if you could do that for me. And if you like to copy and paste the link into other aspects of your social media platforms, again, that would be awesome. So let me just get my bone folder and just go gently down with these. And another trick is just to do that with your bone folder, and then that will just make a nice clean contact. Now I'm just going to fold these back because I want this to be fairly central on my card, and then I will give you a little brief indication of what you're finished. So also, if you want to, it's a bit late, but I did, if you want to go over, actually we can do it, just to emphasize the edge of the card, you can do so on this one. And again, if you want to go over it with the distressing tool, again you can do that, and that will just emphasize. Cool. So yes, so once you've done that, peel those back so you've got your 4 little tabs, and then down it goes. And just by doing the edges with the black, it just highlights it and gives it a nice border. So, and we've got our tabs to pull away while it's still in place. So once that's down, you've got that, and then your piece of finished artwork will go on top once you finish painting it, and that is your card done. And that's what it's like when it's completely painted and finished, and you've done all your colouring using your ink pads. Well, I hope you've liked that. Thank you very much for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button, press that notification button for future videos, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good time, enjoy, happy crafting. Bye for now.